So I'm excited about having this conversation and really trying to understand how Howard has become a name that's synonymous when you think of HBCU. So why don't we take it back to come forward? Can you talk a little bit about the historic founding of Howard University in 1867, only a few years after the ratification of the 13th Amendment? What was happening on the campus and how did it get situated?
Sure. Well, Howard, as you had mentioned, was founded in 1867, shortly after the end of the Civil War. And we were founded, really the idea about founding a university to help educate newly freed slaves started during a prayer group meeting, developed into the idea to form a university, not a school for preachers, not a school for teachers, but a full-fledged university. And we were chartered by Congress in 1867. And the rest, as they say, has been history.
Which has been very interesting when I think about your work with Thurgood Marshall, who's come forward, Vice President Kamala Harris. You've had quite a few notaries come through this university. Can you paint the picture of what it was like at Howard University when you first got started?
One of the things that I think is important about the founding of the university, and again, Howard was conceptualized as a university and with the intent to provide a full range of educational opportunities to newly freed slaves, but not only limited to newly freed slaves. Many of Howard's first students were also the children of the founders. And so we were one of the few institutions at that time that provided educational opportunities to young white women. And so if you look at the founding of the university and our earliest programs, divinity, law, medicine dates back to 1868, as well as pharmacy, Howard was different in the way that it was conceptualized. And I think that had a lot to do with not only the academic opportunities that we provided students. By 1869, Howard was also admitting our first international students. We had our first international graduates by 1872. And the first three, as a matter of fact, came from one from Prussia, one from the Caribbean, and the other from what is currently Ghana. So Howard has also been an international institution, really almost since the inception of the university.
Can you talk a little bit about how you were able to distinguish yourself? I mean, you think of HBCUs from the upper north all the way down to the deepest south. How did Howard distinguish itself?
Well, I think one of the things that is also unique about Howard is obviously we're in the nation's capital. We're one of only two non-military academic institutions that receive a congressional appropriation. The other is Gallaudet. But I think being housed in Washington, D.C., in the seat of power, and with so much going on in terms of transit north to south and with the entryways to the west, there were a number of things that were centralized in this region where within, well now we're within a 90-minute ride to Philadelphia, we're within 4 hours of New York, and then certainly not that far from Richmond. So I think also because of Washington, D.C.'s central location, we provided opportunities and access to students from throughout the region and ultimately throughout the country for a variety of reasons. And certainly politics, being in the seat of the political capital of the nation, I think has also played a significant role.
I know that Howard's unique in that you have the degrees in all professions, arts, sciences, medicine. You have a law school, which is really unique for HBCUs. So can you talk about how are you balancing trying to meet the demands in each of these areas equally?
Well, that's true. Howard is the most comprehensive, historically black college and university in the country. We have 14 schools and colleges, and we offer over 140 degree programs, undergraduate, graduate, and professional. As you mentioned, we offer law degrees, medical degrees, pharmacy. We have the only dental school in Washington, D.C. We also have social work program, as well as a wide range of undergraduate programs. I think that broad range of options that we provide to students really also makes Howard unique for an undergraduate student who may have the goal of becoming a physician. We have a hospital on campus, we have a medical school. For a number of our young people who have interest in law and may major in political science or history or strategic and legal communications, but they also have access to the law school. We have a divinity school, which is also unique. And when you look at that range of programs and the range of options, we also house WHUR, and we have a television station on campus. And so we provide a wide range of options for students and ways for them to consider how what is their place and how they fit given their particular areas of interest.
And I think another thing that's very interesting about Howard as a class act as an HBCU, you're able to pull in certain people to work with you. I'm thinking just recently, you have Sherlyn Ifill-Hill, you have Ta-Nehisi Coates here, you have Stacey Abrams here, you brought in Felicia Rashad. Like, you seem to be leveraging either your popularity or your big pockets to be able to bring in people of that caliber. Talk about the impact that has on the student body to have those folks on campus actually teaching classes.
Sure, we've been very fortunate in that we've had a number of alums who've gone on to be successful and do great things and have an interest in coming back and sharing their experiences with our students. I think we've also done a good job of attracting scholars from a wide range of fields, from politics, from medicine, fine arts and entertainment, business. And that really creates a unique mechanism for our students to learn not only from our outstanding faculty, but also from scholars that we have been able to recruit, others who have sought Howard out because they see the uniqueness of the experience that we provide to students. And also having that broad range of disciplines is attractive to a number of scholars who would like to be able to bounce ideas off of other individuals who are leaders in their own disciplines and fields.
Now, I know one thing that people have always kind of complained about is getting alum to be able to give back to the university. That doesn't seem to be an issue here at Howard. You have the alumni who are actively involved both financially and physically coming on campus and feeding into the lives of students. How do you bridge that connection between those who are going here and those who have gone here?
We do have a very active alumni network. Our alumni association is very active, and we have active chapters not only throughout this country, but also in the Caribbean and in Africa. And I think our alums always want to be encouraging of our students, have things that they want to share in terms of their life experiences. And certainly we have a number of alums who are our adjunct professors or who may serve as preceptors in our health professional programs. And that willingness to really share their experiences and help to provide opportunities for our students is always invaluable.
One of the things I think when I look at Howard, you had another milestone moment over the last year. I know the major one, of course, is Vice President Kamala Harris and her push toward the White House. Even thinking about being on the campus of Howard University that night and the excitement and electricity around campus. It was magical. Just even in the moment, it was just so magical. But there was another big milestone moment for you, becoming an R1 university. Yes. I want you to talk a bit about that because that is absolutely huge in terms of being the first HBCU to reach that level.
It is very significant for us. Howard was actually had an R1 designation a few decades ago, and so this was critical for us to regain that designation as a leading research university. We have outstanding faculty who are doing excellent work and research in medicine and health sciences, in the social sciences, and the R1 designation was really the sort of the icing on the cake, and it helped to validate the work that we have been doing over a number of decades to provide not only enriching didactic and classroom experiences for our students, but really our faculty being engaged in research that is critical and important in areas that are of significant value and importance to our community. And so, regaining the R1 status is important not only for our faculty, it's important in terms of recruiting high caliber students, but it's also important in terms of continuing to do the work that is of significant interest to our faculty, and certainly also being able to obtain research funding that will help to underwrite that type of research that we want to continue to do.
But the work to build is never done.
Oh, no.
So it's always continuing. Can you talk about some of the building projects that are happening on the campus here?
Yeah, we just recently completed a significant renovation of Minor Hall, which was formerly Miners Teachers College. It now houses our School of Education and the Middle School for Math and Science, which is housed on campus. We're still in the process of constructing a new tower for the hospital, which will hopefully will break ground in the next year. We have a number of other projects in terms of a new building for the Kathy Hughes School of Communications, and given our significant increase in enrollment and the demand for housing on campus, we're also looking to do new residential housing and a wellness and fitness center for our faculty, students, and staff.
Thank you so much. Howard University, founded 1867. You're back to R1 status. I think people who know the university know what to say when I say HU. So I appreciate your time sitting down with us.
Oh, thank you. It's been my pleasure.